Let me go get my beer.
Yeah, I'm drinking a Smithwick's red Irish ale, Irish made. It's 14.9 floral ounces, 4.5% ABV. Ooh, I might regret this one later because I got to get up in like 7 hours, 6.5 hours. I don't know, something like that. Jammer's killing me. He's a bad influence. Don't tell him I said so. Ugh, you still got Landshark Lagers?
Yeah,
That chilled your lesson like 3 years ago.
yeah. I bought these like 3 years ago. Yeah, still
Is
got some
that,
bubbles.
that's not the one from 3 years ago, is it?
Nah. No.
Uh,
Um.
I've never been a Land Shark fan. I don't know if they're trying to be like Corona, but it tastes nothing like Corona.
I think they were trying to make a beach beer, kind of like Corona.
Yeah, I mean it's got its own flair, but ugh, I never liked it.
I actually the Corona after Budweiser bought it, I wouldn't drink it, but the Land Shark reminded me more of the Corona of days ago.
Now, who makes Land Shark? I thought Anheuser Busch makes that.
Uh, this was, if I remember correctly, it's. Hold on. You might have to look it up, Shag Dog.
Yeah. What brewery makes Land Shark beer?
Margarita View Brewing, St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah, Margaret, but St. Louis is Anheuser Busch. Let's check. Let's dig deeper, right?
Yeah, dig deep.
Margaret. They locate the headquarters in Jacksonville, though. Let's see. Landshark Lager, Margarita View, and buy craft beer online. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to just go ahead and act like this is a review at the beginning,
Yeah,
okay?
maybe they are their own.
Man, it is a clear lager in general. It's got a few bubbles floating to the top. The head is a nice frothy white head. It looks inviting and so forth. Let me give it a little sniff. I'm getting a little bit of the hops and barley. Yeah, I'm sure this is an adjunct lager.
Oh yeah.
In general, but it does smell a little toasty in general. Let me go ahead and give it a sip. Cheers.
Cheers.
The funny thing about it is I don't mind Land Shark. In fact, I think it tastes pretty decent compared to what the Corona tastes like now. It's smooth. It's not big in flavor, but I mean it's smooth and easy to drink. It's slightly watery. It's supposed to be an island style lager, and it's supposed to be what? How many ABV is it? 4.8.
4.6.
Is it 4.6? Okay, 4.6.
Could be 4.6.
It's got kind of like almost a citrusy, lime or lemon flavor to it too.
Yeah.
The more I smell it as I'm drinking, it almost smells like trash.
And they say it has a complex blend of hops and a two-row caramel malt with a light, refreshing taste, hint of malty sweetness.
It does have malty sweetness to it, yeah. Let me just ask you: is it an adjunct lager?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Court of Beer Advocate's adjunct lager. I would say it's adjunct. You getting corn on that?
Let me give it.
I think since they make it to the that Mexican style type lager, it's gonna taste. The corniness will be different than a regular adjunct lager. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a little corn, but it's very well masked with the lemon. I say lemon, lime flavors. Yeah, I remember that Corona used to be the sponsor of most of Jimmy Buffett's concerts. And being wise and let's be honest, you're a business person. if you have any kind of business sense, you're out there and you're having these concerts and everything, and you have this guy that's sponsoring you, and they're making a fortune off of you, and you think to yourself, "Hey, why don't I create a beer and have it sponsor my concerts?" That's me sponsoring myself
All right.
with one company to another, and the money stays
And
within
what
me.
I really hate about Jimmy Buffett, yeah, he's a good businessman. He probably made a lot of money, but guess what? He didn't take it with him.
No, but the thing about one thing I will say about his life though, he had a lot of fun and enjoyed it.
What do you like most about Jimmy Buffett? The one thing. One thing. What's the one thing Jimmy Buffett did that you like? Pretty easy answer for me.
Oh, what's your answer?
His songs.
Well, that's what I was. My thing is his early days when he was hungry
Yeah.
and he was more reflective and more.
Right. I don't care about the commercial shit, Margaritaville and all the other shit. Yeah.
Even the song Margaritaville, that was something that he came up with because it was creative. You know what I mean?
Right.
Originally speaking, the song that he came up with, and Come Monday and so forth. Those two songs were his two biggest hits.
Yeah, I was talking about the restaurants and the
Oh yeah, the restaurant.
Margaritaville communities
that was just smart to say, hey, you know what? I'll take advantage of the fact that I have a following.
He probably wish he lived another 20 years and spent all that money though.
Well, I'm sure because he used to be. The crazy thing about it, Shag Dog, is he was one of the. At one time, he was the highest paid entertainer of the year in and year out. You're talking about being the highest paid entertainer, which was hundreds of millions of dollars. I think it was 300 and some odd $1 million a year he was making.
Yeah, and that's between all of his entrepreneurships and
including all the tours he did.
Tours and
because he was a big touring guy. He really, say what you will, he really enjoyed going out and touring.
It was really almost like the Grateful Dead, but I think better music than Grateful Dead actually. But
I will say this much:
but as far as his fans, the Finheads and all that, Finheads.
And the crazy thing about it is those tours. Okay, let me put it this way: he's one of the only people I know of that had concert tours and actually aired them on his website at live.
Oh,
so if you weren't there at the concert, you could have watched it online.
For free, or you got to pay
for free?
Oh, wow.
So, here you are paying to be at the concert itself, but you could watch it in Florida when he was up in Maine.
They should have charged for that.
Yeah, that's the thing. He gave it back to the fans because he's like, okay, and that's what I liked about him in the sense of, he as much money as he was making from everything, he also gave some of it back to his fans, It's like Big Head Todd and the Monsters. When Big Head Todd and the Monsters they had gotten their big top 40 hit and all that kind of stuff. Guess what they did? They came out with a whole CD album and basically had it online for you to download and also the cover art you could download. So you could download everything and make your own CD if you wanted to, or put it on your iPod or whatever you wanted to do. They gave back to their fans, so you didn't have to pay for it. You got a free whole album, Did so many albums, they made so much, and then they turned around and gave a free one out,
Yeah.
And granted that, what they could have made off of that, maybe not a big amount of money. Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, for online, any of my favorite groups, I would pay a couple, $10, $20 to see them online if they're during a live concert or something. I'm not going to pay $100 or $200. Fuck that.
Yeah. $5-10, to watch a concert.
Yeah, maybe a really good band of mine, favorite band, $20 to watch it online. Yeah, I'll do that. It's like pay-per-view, right?
But yeah, so he did give back to his fans in that sense. But I'd say whenever he was younger and in the early days, going from the 70s into the early 80s, maybe even the late '80s per se. Once he
Yeah.
got to the couple of the albums where he was doing "Math Sucks" and stuff like that, then he was touching into the whole parent type thing.
Yeah.
And even though some of the songs on the album was good, I didn't care much for him because he was too family oriented. I like the songs that were deep and reflective and told the story, and like a
Yeah.
pirate looks at 40. Um, he went to,
Cheeseburger paradise.
he went to Paris.
Yeah.
Ten Cup Chalice.
Mm.
Um, you know,
There's one song they played on the radio last night too, but I can't remember the name of it. But because the lady on Coast to Coast was playing Jimmy Buffett songs, and in between the breaks, coming back from the break. But I remember the song because I saw a Saturday Live episode from the early days of Saturday Live, and he was on there, and the bass guitarist, and the song has a good bass section to it, and the
if
bass
they had
guitarist,
saxophone
I don't
playing,
know, I don't know what it was, but on
home,
Saturday Live when I was watching it, it was like
body break.
a few months ago. The bass guitarist is so fucking stoned, you can tell he's like stoned. He's like, I mean, just his face, he was like higher and it kind
He
of.
was high on the music.
Yeah.
No, his songwriting was really good, and then he what started him on the business aspect of it was the fact that people were putting out T-shirts that weren't very good, and they were making money off of him, and he turned around and said, you know what, we should make our own T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And so he started making their own T-shirts and making their own stuff, and the next thing you know, he had his own clothing line, and then he had his own. It was one thing after the other: clothing line, restaurant line, hotel line, cruise line, shoe line,
Yeah.
and next, so he had apparel and shoes and all that stuff. Granted, I didn't care much for the style of clothing and shoes they had. I liked some of the shirts, but I'm not paying that kind of money for it.
Yeah.
It's like you know Shag Dog. I had a Margaritaville table and chairs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy it. It was given to me as a gift,
Yeah.
and it was bought at a reasonable price because it was on sale. Otherwise, that wouldn't have been bought because a lot of it is overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of his stuff made me think. Sometimes in the '90s and in the early 2000s, I just basically summed it up as a sellout.
Yeah. Well, you got to think
He's
he's
making
got
the
a lot.
money.
He's got. I mean, Grant, he's making a lot of money, but he's got people you got to pay. All the people doing that work to create those things. Yeah.
Well, he was making a lot of money, and the band, the Coral Reefer Band,
Mm-hmm.
he went on touring to help them continue making money.
What was the name of the band?
Coral Reefer.
Coral Reefer.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Coral Reefer Band.
Yeah. I mean, I went to that concert.
In fact, they're doing tours still today, Jimmy tribute tours. Where Mac McAnally is his name. It was one of the guys that was real good friends with Jimmy, and in fact, he was there when basically really started the Coral Reefer Band and everything like that. And he's been with him all those years, and a lot of the others have been with him all those years. And they still go out and they celebrate his life as well as introduce some of their songs to him, like they did when Jimmy was alive. Jimmy allowed them to play their music and sing and stuff like that, their songs and stuff.
What did he die of? Cancer? Some type of cancer? Or?
He died of a skin cancer, Jimmy.
Skin cancer. Wow.
Some kind of aggressive skin cancer that's very rare, and
That's crazy.
and if you think about it, he up to the end he was still trying to play concerts and stuff. In fact, before he died, he had left I think his hospital he left wherever he was at, and went and showed up at some bar or something like that, and did a couple sets of songs with a friend of his. He just walked in and basically
Hmm.
took over the show. But
Man, speaking of cancer, I thought about that the other day. I think most cancers, maybe skin cancer, of course, the sun and everything, but you got to figure all the nukes that the U.S. and Russia tested over the years, and they said that shit traveling around the world, Chernobyl traveling around the world,
Fukushima.
Fukushima, 3 Mile Island, and Russia and U.S. tested thousands of nuclear weapons, and even in the Southwest, U.S. was still testing nuclear weapons up until the 70s or 80s underground and
Look,
shit like that.
John Wayne filmed his couple of different films. I think one was where he was playing the China guy. What was his name?
Fu Manchu.
I forget the name of that Chinese emperor.
Yeah,
What was that? John Wayne.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Googleize it.
What Chinese emperor did John Wayne play? The Conqueror. Stars John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan. He that and some other movie.
There's
Anyway,
another. Yeah, I remember seeing an actual thing about that actual movie. Yeah. What's the movie John Wayne played in that? He probably got radiation poisoning. John Wayne business revolves around the legend that dust contaminated with nuclear fallout in the area filming The Conqueror. Oh, The Conqueror, I guess. Yeah, I thought there was another one too, though. Anyhow, yeah.
Anyway, it was in that valley in Nevada or Arizona, or whatever it was, out there in the desert area.
Yeah, and everybody from that movie got cancer.
Yeah, every one of them that was a part of that movie ended up dying of cancer, of some kind of cancer-related thing.
At least 90%.
And that area that they, after all these years, they tested that area, and it is high in radiation.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how high in radiation it was back in the 40s, 50s, whatever it was when they filmed it.
Right. Yeah, somewhere around there.
And you can say what you want. It was his cigarette smoke, and it was his drink, and
he had stomach cancer or lung cancer.
I don't remember.
And a lot of people from that set died of cancer. So it's like,
you can Googleize it. You can say, John Wayne, what kind of cancer did he die from?
What kind of cancer did? Googleize. What kind of cancer did John Wayne die from? Yeah, sure. John stomach cancer, not lung cancer, as many people believe.
You know, that's the thing, that when they talk about John Wayne, they usually say, "Oh well, he was a heavy smoker."
Yeah, I think that could contribute to stomach cancer.
Oh yeah, all that can contribute to it. But here's the thing about it too, Shag Dog. They even said themselves that all the ink, all the different material and everything, the paper, all the trees and everything like that. They said before there's the material that was before all the nuclear bombs, and then after the nuclear bomb. Everything afterward has it in its system. It's a part of it. You can tell that it was exposed to radiation.
Oh.
I don't know if that is copyright free.
That almost sounds like the Titanic song there.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's classic.
Anyway, what I was getting at is that a lot of stuff that it's been exposed to radiation. They can see it when they do carbon dating and stuff like that. So everything before hadn't been exposed to it. When they look at artwork and everything, and the paint and all that kind of stuff, and the printing and all that, they can see that.
Sure.
This is after nuclear.
Is that you, John Wayne? Is this me?
Who's the second? Go ahead, talk it up. I'll be back.
Is that you, John Wayne? Is that me? Who's the fucking? Let's check that. Full Metal Jacket lines where Joker says, "Is that you, John Wayne? Is this me?" All right. Okay.
Well, Pilgrim.
Yeah, I forget the Full Metal Jacket where Joker says, "Is that you, John Wayne? Is this me?" And the drill instructor's like, "Who the fuck said that? Who the fuck just signed his own fucking death warrant? Was that you?" And he goes up to Cowboy. He's like, punches him in the gut. "Was that you? You queer motherfucker?" "Sir, it was me, sir. Oh, maybe I should call you Private fucking Joker." You know, that kind of shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, that is crazy in itself. I watched a whole interview with
John Wayne.
Elon Musk with Joe Rogan.
She said Elon Musk. I almost thought you were about to say with John Wayne.
And I never really thought much of Musk before. You know, I've always thought he was a little odd, a little weird, and all that kind of crap like that.
Yeah.
But I will say this much: when I don't like the way he talks, I don't like the way his speech mannerisms.
I think he has a little Asperger's.
But when Joe was asking him questions, he would stop and he would think, and he would go
like pause for like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, yeah.
And then he would respond, which is actually a very smart thing to do. Think about what you're going to say, and then say it.
Yeah, because you think about it like, well, maybe I shouldn't say it that way. Okay, here's
a lot of people will start talking and then go, you know.
Yeah. I know somebody does that during beer reviews.
Yeah, I know. Me too. But I digress.
Yeah, I just... Yeah, I think he's a little Aspergery, but I say he's the false prophet as of right now. He's my number one false prophet. He brings fire back down from the sky. He has spoken about that we live in a simulation, and he thinks the rapture is going to happen because whoever simulated this, programmed this, wants to see what our reaction is going to be when the rapture happens.
Well, I will say this much. The things he talked about and the way he explained it and everything gave me a newfound respect for him and his intelligence. I will say that whenever he was talking about the NGOs and the way that it's been funded and funneled around to people and everything and organizations, he said himself, he goes, if I was to try to clean up completely Washington, they would kill me.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe that. I believe that they wouldn't kill him if he was if he went for the people that really he should go for, he would be dead. As long as he's getting the low-hanging fruit, they don't give a shit. Go get them. You know, same thing with Epstein. Get the low-hanging fruit. Satisfy the people that want justice or want crying for blood. Hey, satisfy them by giving them the low-hanging fruit.
Right. And
everything will be good. But the problem with, like with Epstein, the low-hanging fruit is Bill Clinton.
Oh,
that
really?
is one of the low-hanging fruit because everybody knows Bill Clinton went there 20, 30, 40 times or whatever like that.
Yeah. Did he take cigars with him?
I'm sure he did, and he had a few pizzas.
With pepperoni?
Oh, yeah. Pepperoni pizza, definitely. Yeah. He was all over it.
I don't know what the pepperoni means, but I know it means something.
And I'm sure Hillary was right there alongside him, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got somebody who is who follows a blatant Satanist, I guarantee you she was right there beside him.
You know, I have nothing wrong with adults doing it with other adults. What do you call that? Consenting adults doing stuff. Yeah, but if they had girls that are even 18, actually, even 20 years old, really, if they're like older people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, you know, what do you call that? Manipulating young girls, even their early 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, with money or whatever. and then especially younger kids, boys and girls, and Island of Misfit Boys. That's what I call that place.
Well, that right there is another thing. They claim the whole Peter Pan's story is a thing talking about how they. Uh, you heard the story, right?
So I heard something about it. Yeah.
Yeah, claiming that it was all about sexually molesting boys and girls and all this stuff.
So Captain Hook is Epstein.
Yeah, I kind of like that kind of attitude.
And all the pirates that were with
But
him.
here's the thing about it. Years ago, I heard about this whole ring of people that were the pedophile ring that was using the boys' clubs of America,
Oh,
and it was connected to Bob Hope.
no way.
Yes, Bob Hope was a part of the connecting of all of it and everything. And they were going to do a whole ABC expose on it in the 80s. You can look this up. You'll see it. They were supposed to do an expose on it in the 80s. And ABC got shut down. They got shut down and were not allowed to air that program.
Oh, not Bob Hope. I just watched a movie with him and Jonathan Winters.
Bob Hope, there's a lot of women and a lot of boys that have complained about Bob Hope. And it's fallen on deaf ears.
I can't believe it. Bob fucking Hope.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I've never seen Bob Hope like getting weird with boys in any of the movies or anything. Have you?
I can believe it only because he was a little odd to begin with.
Really? I didn't know that.
Don't get me wrong. I like the movies that he was in. I like some of his acting. I like some of his jokes and all that stuff. But he was an odd character in a lot of ways when you get outside of the movies.
I mean, I'm an odd character, Jammer. You think I'm a pedophiler?
I plead the fifth. You did cruise some high school playgrounds.
High school playgrounds? Who the hell was driving?
I was a designated driver, yes.
Just because we're going by high school, it's not like I'm cruising the high school playgrounds.
I know. I have to say that, though, because it was funny.
Yeah.
Come on now. Do you not admit that it was funny?
Oh, yeah.
No, but no, I wouldn't say to you, but I'm saying these people. Bob Hope was a part of the whole whole society out there in the California with the owl and Walter Concrete.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, the owl thing.
Concrete. Yeah,
the Secret Society, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian group or whatever.
What's the secret Bohemian group? There we go. Bohemian Club. Yeah. It's like Culture Club, a little bit more elite.
A city clubhouse in the Nob Hill district.
And you know what else gets me about that? To be part of that club, it's like X amount of thousands of dollars that you have to pay up front. Then after that, it's yearly so many thousands of dollars. And what's crazy about it is when Jimmy Buffett was first entering into business and getting business propositions and everything like that, to expand his franchise, his whole enterprise, right? He got fast track. It's like 20 years before you could become a part of the members of the Bohemian Club.
Yeah.
And he got fast tracked to become a member of that club. And what caused me to take a little, like when I found out this, it's like, what the hell? He became a member. After that, his whole enterprises skyrocketed. He became a millionaire. It was like boom, X amount of millions of dollars he started making.
Oh shit!
And I think in a lot of ways,
Well, he
people
got
join these
initiated.
clubs, and they become that. And the next thing you know, what happens is they kill them off.
Oh, damn.
And I'm not saying that Jimmy Buffett was killed off, but I do believe that some of them became famous, became rich, became very successful because they were a part of that club, because people were maneuvering for you to become successful because they're making 10 times the amount off of you.
Yeah. What do you think about musicians where
They die at
they
34.
well, the other part is they keep touring until they're like 80 years old because they say if they stop touring, they're going to kill them because the only way they're going to make money off them now is for them to die and people to buy a bunch of their shit because they're dead
Yeah,
now.
well, you think about it. There's an upsurge whenever they die for the next 5-10 years
Right.
of their goods. It's a super upsurge the first couple of years, and then it kind of dies
Yeah.
down 5 to 10 years. And then of course they do the expose movies and stuff like that, and I believe that happens because it's been shown. I believe that those maybe the people who are doing the concerts, like Rolling Stones, constantly going
Right.
around touring,
And they're old as shit. Well, how old are the Rolling Stones now? They got
well,
to be in the 80s.
in
80
the
years old?
in the '60s they were probably in their 20s. So
Yeah. I mean,
figure it up. 40 years more, that's 60. And then you
how
add 20
old is
years,
Mick
they're in their
Jagger?
80s.
81, Mick Jagger. I mean, you think about Stephen Pierce at Rat, he's still touring,
My whole thing
bad.
is this. Okay,
69
so
years old.
you think about it. They are still touring. It's just like the politicians, like Pelosi and everybody. You'll retire when I allow you to retire. I am your puppet master.
But I believe it was Bob Dylan.
I am the
that
one
said-
who puts you into that place, that position. I'm the one who wants you in that position because I paid all that money and I'm manipulating you to vote a certain way.
Oh.
And when I have no use for you anymore, then you can retire. But until then, you are going to do what I tell you to do. So you cannot retire until I do that.
Yeah.
I honestly feel
I heard Bob Dylan is one of the first ones that said that. I can't stop touring because they'll kill me or some shit like that.
well, that wouldn't surprise me because he kind of back in the day he admitted that in a roundabout way that he sold his soul to the devil to be able to be successful.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Don't sell your soul for anything.
But I honestly believe that, like with the politicians and with the musicians and so forth, that they are fast tracked to success because they are connected to certain individuals or organizations that want them to be successful, and if they will listen and do what they want them to do, as long as you're listening and doing what they want you to do, you will be successful and you'll be famous and you'll be rich and everything else that. But I am the puppet master. I have the strings, and when I pull them, you must do what I'm pulling you to do. And that means if that means you have to tour until you actually die, well, guess what? You're gonna have to tour until you die.
Hey, it's time for me to get off, Jammer.
That's a personal thing, and if you're going to get off, that's very sickening that you're going to get off.
Hey, well, that's what happens on the Misfit Island of Boys. I really
let me finish my beer with you. Let me finish my beer with you.
I already finished mine.
I don't have.
You've been talking a lot. You haven't drinking
This
your beer.
is my second Landshark.
Yeah. What did you do before the Landshark?
I did the crutch plate.
Oh, yeah.
Crutch plate. I did crutch plate, and then I did 2 Landshark while you did your Murphys or Smithwicks.
Yeah. I did something else before that. I did do the Murphys before that, right?
Yeah. So I've done 3 to your 2.
Right. Yeah, that happens. Some of us are overachievers.
Well, when the puppet masters pull your strings.
You can do anything, right?
All right. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and
Yeah.
subscribing and sharing. Shag Dog and I have to retire.
One of these days, we gotta. I can't wait till your wife goes on vacation for a weekend again. Let me know so I can put in for that weekend.
What?
You know, where you can do beer reviews all weekend. The last time that your wife went away for a weekend to Jamaica or whatever else she went,
Oh, yeah.
and you did beer reviews all weekend long. If I know in advance, I can put in for that weekend off. We could do beer reviews without time constraints and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shame of it. But this was because it was St. Patty's Day, and I've never been able to do it on St. Patty's Day. So.
But we got time constraints on because if we do it Wednesday, Wednesday I can do it all day because I'm off Wednesday night. But,
Well,
but you can only do it for so long still, on a Wednesday. Yeah,
so, that's true. No,
it's not like we get on here and go for 6 hours anymore.
I know. I wish I could because I would continue to drink until I pass out, probably.
Drink myself to death. Yeah. Hey, maybe next St. Patrick's Day, maybe it'll be different.
Yeah. Well, maybe be on happier terms for sure.
Yeah, shit. Well, that was great. St. Patty's Day. I wasn't expected to drink today, so.
To everyone we lost this year, and to everyone that we lost last year and previous years and so forth. Happy St. Patty's Day to everybody today and in the future.
Hey, remember my brother's picture? It used to be at Cheers.
Yeah, I saw that on P. Diddy's.
Kimmy gave it to him. She tried to give it to me one time, but I was like, I'd rather it be here because I get to see him every time I come in here.
Yeah.
But she gave it to him. Supposedly he tried stealing it a few times. I think joking around. Yeah, I'm gonna steal that. But she gave it to him finally. But I think she had it back in the office. She didn't even have it hanging up anymore or something. So
I don't understand that. What was the deal with that? Why didn't they keep it there?
Why are you going to put it up in the first place if you don't plan to put it up there? Because they had some other guy up there one time too. Another older gentleman that died that used to go there. And they took his down after 3 years. Like, why are you going to put his picture up and take it down after 3 years?
As far as I'm concerned, if I was a bar owner, I would keep them up there.
I'd have a whole wall of dead people. Seriously, like those Air Force bars.
And then I go in there and I sit and I see dead people.
Yeah. Yeah, like you ever see those Air Force test pilots or whatever, and all the ones that died in the test.
I just think that it would be a good, respectful pay homage to, and on top of that, look at the Key West and the dollar bills and the bras and the panties they're putting on the rafters and all that stuff. Right. And it's not just Key West. It was up there in Alaska too.
If that bar didn't change much over the years, you probably would have been going there more than you would have.
Oh, well, if it hadn't changed like it did back after Kimmy got it, let's be honest. When she got it, it became DEI for sure.
Yeah, she got it in 2013, but yeah, the karaoke went downhill, everything, But
everything.
Before then, the karaoke was going downhill, but it really went downhill after she.
And that's why I'm kind of glad that your brother took it from her, because guess what? It might be not too much longer before it just shuts down completely.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't think it's all that successful.
Yeah. Diddy said he went in there and he goes, it's definitely not a karaoke bar anymore. They just play music usually. That's it.
A place where people used to go constantly. And what gets me about that too is the fact so many more people have gone into that area to live. Mm-hmm. You would think that place would be buzzing 24/7.
You remember when they had the local? I don't know if it was a local band or a Tampa band, but the sound machine, not the regular sound machine with what's their name, Gloria Estefan, but they had not the Miami sound machine. They were just called the Sound Machine. That was a good band. They were in there every Friday night or whatever.
Yeah,
they had karaoke every other night. Thursday nights was ladies' nights. They had, the place was jamming all the time way back in the day.
Yeah,
And that's
it was
what
raking in money.
Less population back then too, in that
Yeah.
area. So it's like, they missed out.
So it doesn't make sense why it is not as successful as it was.
And they should have a house band for a certain night, Friday night, Saturday night, whatever.
And the only reason I can tell you why it's not as successful is because Kimmy is too woke.
You think she's woke?
I think she's too woke because she's allowed those. I mean, especially you allowed the gay guys in there to do what they do. I mean, it was just crazy.
Yeah, no normal people want to go in there and see some dude slide on his knees and put his mouth down on a dildo or something.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that unless you're another gay guy.
Right. And maybe even some gay guys like, wow, that's fucking weird.
I'm sure there's a few gay guys that would be like, oh, that's just too much. Why are you doing that here in public?
That's for private, for you and your man.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think that once she took it over, it became more. I don't know. The feel that I got from it was not so much. I mean, there was the gay feel. All right,
Yeah.
We got the gay vibe to a degree.
Unprofessional with the DJs.
Yeah, it was completely.
Vader was okay, but when he left in what year was that? Like 2015 or whatever it was. It was just Mike and his brother normally, and
they didn't have, and they wouldn't follow a certain pattern. They were just, oh, you're friends of so and so, and the next thing you know, they got up there. But if you wanted to do a song, you have to wait.
And then they do one karaoke, and then they play like 5, 6, 7 dance.
That's the other thing. People go there when it was karaoke in order to karaoke.
Yeah.
They don't mind giving up a few dance songs.
Like the one time we went there, we went and saw that movie, and we went there, and me, you, and one other guy were doing karaoke, and then we kept getting up there. We must have done like 20 songs that night. That's because, and then about 10:30, 11, more people started joining in. But I mean, from 9 to like 10:30, it was just 3 of us doing karaoke, and
and that was fine. But and the thing about that is that if it's a karaoke bar and you're supposed to be doing karaoke, you do the karaoke. Yeah. It doesn't matter whether there's 50 people there or only 3.
Right. And they did even that night. They. 3 of us sang 2 or 3 sets, and then he played 2 or 3 songs, got his back right up there, 2, 3 sets,
And then when more people came into the rotation, we didn't get pulled up as much.
Yeah.
But that was because we had done all those songs before.
Yeah, and we're at the bottom of the rotation now, so.
And I can understand that a little more. I've had 15 songs already. All right, let's let some other people have some songs now that they're here.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, you know what I'm saying. I can accept it more.
Yeah.
I just don't like the fact that the bar changed, so much. And Kimmy took over it. It just, the whole vibe of it just changed. It was a fun bar before, and then all of a sudden it became like I don't know. It just became standoffish in a way.
Yeah, even Vader, I think once she bought it, he was there for about a year after that, or maybe 2 years. I can't remember how long it was, but he was like, yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just Chris and what's his brother
and those guys were oddballs to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, they were very odd.
Yeah, you'd be better off going back to get the old guys that used to be here, John and the other guy,
What was the one guy's name that, golly, I forget his name.
The one
that older guy used to do it, and they also did it down at Happy Days every now and then.
Yeah, that was Charles.
Just in general, it's just like, my goodness,
Yeah, Charles and John was another good one.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't great, but at least
let's put it this way: if you're doing karaoke, you do karaoke, and you do occasional dance song just for the hell of it, in order to give yourself a break and go get to the bathroom.
Happy. The people that don't sing happy,
Yeah, and then you go back to it. But what they did was just crazy. I mean, and Kimmy, you would think would have better business sense instead of being so sucked into this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a bartender, and all of a sudden you're able to purchase the bar.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, huh?
I know what it was is that she ended up being able to purchase the bar, and I guarantee you the deal was X amount of your takings for the next so many years are going to help pay. You have to pay so much to me in order to pay for it.
Right.
They went out of their way to set up a way for her to purchase it because I know she didn't have the money.
Right.
So they figured out a way, you pay X amount every year in order to pay for it.
Yeah, unless they did she got a loan from somewhere, but who's going to give a loan to a bartender?
Yeah, they're not going to give a loan to some waitress, bartender, waitress, or whatever.
Yeah.
And she had to get that from the owner. The owner turned around and made a deal with her that she could buy the bar for X amount down and so much every year.
Get a little bit of this.
Well, that might have been too. She might have been doing that before.
All right. I'm going to get the bar, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you swallow.
How you think she got that gap in her teeth, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I often think about people who don't have teeth, and I think, the gum in it probably feels pretty damn good,
Could be. Yeah.
I figure you've been with a woman with dentures.
No, but I could have, but...
Oh, man, your next goal is to have a woman with dentures.
I'm still trying for the arm.
You did the whole thing with the one leg, one arm, kind of thing.
I haven't had one arm yet.
Oh, well, one
leg. We
We
talked about that. One leg. I'm going for the no legs. And
you had the one tit. The one tit.
I didn't have a one tit.
The one leg.
I forgot about the one tit. Yeah.
So you got one tit, one leg.
I need one arm.
You need a one arm, and you need dentures.
Yeah, man, the one arm girl that got her arm bit off by the tiger, she would have been nice.
Yeah.
The one from Busch Gardens. Yeah, she was a cutie. Amanda.
Oh, yeah, she would have been nice. I would have done her.
Yeah. Her old boyfriend wouldn't sing Amanda by Boston for her, but I did.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that, you turn around and do that.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah.
She probably don't even remember me.
Well, who would remember who, I mean, let's be honest. Most of the time we were drunk there anyway.
I remember her.
Yeah, that's only because you thought about...
She only had one arm.
Yeah, and you thought about...
If she was normal, I probably... Who was that girl? I don't know.
I don't remember her. What?
I sang some song for her, but I can't remember what the fuck it was.
Yeah, because you sung a lot of songs for girls.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You sung... She's like the wind beneath my wings.
Bed of Roses.
More often than not, you sung that song for a girl.
Yeah.
Bed of Roses, the same thing. Sung it for a girl.
Well, speaking
Which
of
is
girls,
better than He Looking Like a Man.
Yeah, speaking of girls, I gotta go drain my vein and go to bed.
Oh, so you're saying that you've got a vein that's small as a girl.
Well, she's about 3'2".
Well, I'm just going to tell you, the guys behind you are laughing about it.
Yeah, they are.
All right. They loved it. All right, Shag Dog, my friend. It was wonderful hanging out with you and enjoying St. Patty's Day today with beer and liquor and enjoying it.
Yeah, and if I didn't have to go to work tonight, I'd probably do 2 more beers and another shot.
I would too. I'd be right there with you. But
gotta get to bed. I gotta get up to 7 hours now.
All right, my friend. Take care. Celebrate St. Patty's Day with all your friends, and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Get out there and have a good time. Don't let the life's turmoil
Yeah.
or life's responsibilities get you down.
All right. You think this year's Irish St. Patty's Day Irish Drink and Fight Fest was good? Wait till next year.
Yeah. Well, definitely wait until next year.
Yeah, it'll be on a Tuesday.
It'll be on a Tuesday.
Yeah, if the current schedule's going, you ain't doing nothing that day.
Yeah, well,
Unless it's leap year, it'll be on a Wednesday. But I don't think it's leap year this year.
we'll see.
Oh, it's not. Yeah. All right.
Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, and sharing. I'm Jammer.
I'm Shag Dog. We'll see you in the next one.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Have some crack.